Dziękuję bardzo. Bardzo proszę, pani komisarz Cecilia Malmström.
Thank you, President. Good morning, honourable ladies and gentlemen. Well, as you know, President Trump signed off the import duties on 25% steel and 10% of aluminium last week under the Section 232 of the 1962 Trade Expansion Act. It's a US law from the Cold War and justified on national security grounds. These measures will enter into force the night between the 22nd and the 23rd of March. We regret the adoption of these measures. Justifying tariffs on the basis of national security considerations risk undermining the multilateral trading system. And moreover, the European Union, friends and allies in NATO, is not a threat to the national security of the US. And during my meeting with USTR Robert Lighthizer this Saturday, I made clear to him that we are very disappointed, indeed, that long-standing allies and security partners from Europe need to justify their exports of steel and aluminium and to prove that they are not a threat to US security. We are of the firm view that the EU should be excluded as a whole from the Section 232 measures announced next week, and I made this very clear to Ambassador Lighthizer. Unfortunately, I didn't leave Saturday's meeting with sufficient clarity regarding the exclusions. We are in contact with the US counterpart to obtain more clarity as soon as possible, and we have been told that the USTR will publish very soon on their website a more detailed outline of the procedures for the exclusions. This would be very damaging to transatlantic relations and the global rules system based on a common global order that we have constructed together with our US partners. And if the EU is not excluded from the measures, there will have to be a firm and resolute but proportionate response. We are continuing the preparations to ensure that we can respond in line with the WTO rules in the event that we would not be excluded from the scope of the 232 section measures. And last week, the College of Commissioners discussed three strands of work for future measures, and they would defend our interests and those of the trading system. They will be fully in line with international obligations and by the book to the WTO procedures. The first strand is that we will prosecute our rights in the WTO. We are talking to friends and partners across the world who are also affected by the 232 decisions and who would be impacted on this measure. And we are seeing if we can coordinate our rights in the WTO. But WTO proceedings, as you know, take time, so we are also looking at other more immediate measures. The second track would be to protect our market from potentially significant trade diversion. By the US own assessment, steel imports should be reduced by 13 million tonnes, and there could be a surge of steel or aluminium imports into the EU following US tariffs. So we are preparing to put in our own safeguard measures while maximising our openness. We urge our trading partners to do likewise. We do not want to encourage further closing of the steel and aluminium markets. We suspect that the US move is effectively not based on security considerations, but an economic safeguard measure in disguise. So we are entitled, therefore, to use the WTO safeguard agreement to rebalance the benefits we have granted to the US in the past. And these allows measures corresponding to the economic loss suffered. And we are discussing different US products. So these are the three tracks we are discussing. We are ready to act in a proportionate way according to WTO rules. We do not want things to escalate. We do not share the view that trade wars are good and that they're easy to win. On the contrary, they are very bad for the world and they're very easy to lose. So things should not be escalated. We will manoeuvre carefully, but of course we need to protect the interest of the citizens and our jobs. Dialogue with the US is intense. It is continuing this week, and we hope that very soon we can report to you more detail on the outcome of this. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to the debate, Mr. President.
Dziękuję bardzo, pani komisarz Malmström. W imieniu